Almost everyone is familiar with the changes made to mining in the 1.18 update. It seemingly overhauled the mining experience, adding much more depth to it, quite literally as it turns out. Today though, we will be answering the following question. Was mining more efficient before the 1.18 update? Let's find out together as a family. Given some of the changes made to the mining experience in the 1.18 update, we unfortunately won't be able to answer this question quite so simply. However, the meaning of my saying this won't be so simple is that there were many changes to the intricacy of how mining works in Minecraft in the 1.18 update that make this very difficult to benchmark. For example, you may think we should just strip mine in both versions to see which is better, but you'd be a fool to suggest such a thing because things aren't so cut and dry. This is because strip mining before 1.18 would simply allow us to get a lot of everything if we went low enough. Now, however, if we go to the lower levels, certain ores are more common, while others grow less. Furthermore, strip mining in 1.18 is no longer the only viable way to get ores, most notably diamonds, as caving is a far more viable option than it was previous due to changes in cave generation. So the short of it is that strip mining in these two versions isn't exactly equal, and that's not even a fully fair comparison anyways, as there are now other ways to get you can get ores other ways now. But I have a solution! We will strip mine for 2 hours in 1.16, then we will strip mine for 2 hours in 1.18. Now I know that I said that strip mining in these versions isn't a fair comparison. However, since 1.18 still has an optimal diamond level just like 1.16, we can still compare the amount of diamonds we get at the corresponding best levels for diamonds in each version. So that's what we'll do. We'll only compare the diamonds we get in both versions when we strip mine, so that we actually have something fair to compare. Furthermore, I also said that caving is now viable in 1.18 compared to how garbage it was in 1.16, but we will worry about that later. For now, we're just going to compare strip mining in these two versions. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to mention is that I'm also going to be giving myself full diamond armor and a diamond sword, because while I'm timing this, it would be really neat if I didn't die in the middle of the test. And I'm also giving myself a diamond pickaxe to start with, but then all the diamond pickaxes I get after that will be made with the diamonds I find, so we're just going to subtract that from the results basically, because that's how it works when you use them. Tell me that wasn't the most glorious mining montage you've ever seen. Anyways, I'm going to show you the results from both versions here in 1.18, because why would I switch versions just to show you the results when I could just not do that instead? So I wrote down the amount of diamonds I got in both versions, and I'm going to show you them both right here. So in 1.16, we got 64 with 7 left over, and in 1.18, we got a stack with 19 left over, which means that we can conclude the exact same as far as strip mining is concerned, because just having like a small amount more in 1.18 doesn't really mean it's better, because a little bit of luck could cause that to vary, of course. So yeah. But that's not all, my friends. As mentioned before, you can also cave in 1.18 in order to get the diamonds we need. So in order to keep this fair, of course, we're going to test that and compare it to the other results we've gotten so far. Because if caving in 1.18 is significantly better than strip mining in 1.18, then obviously that ultimately means that 1.18 would be better than 1.16, so we have to consider that in our test. Now, I know you're all dying for another epic mining montage, but this one will just be a time-lapse because I'm a mean man. One last thing I would like to mention regarding caving, though, is that there are a fair amount of diamonds gotten from me caving in this time-lapse that were actually gotten from me basically strip mining from one cave system to find another, because I ran out of diamonds in the cave system I started in. But the vast majority of these diamonds were actually found from caving, and I'm still going to include the ones gotten between caves because finding new caves is technically a part of caving. And so we have finished caving now, and the results are as follows right now. In this chest in front of me in the very center, we have the results of our caving experience. And I put the mob loot I got from it in there too, because I guess that's technically relevant. You will see way more mobs while caving, so if you want to consider the amount of mob loot you could get, it would look something like this in 2 hours. And this is the result as far as diamonds we got. And again, it's basically just the exact same. All these tests seem to be basically the exact same. 1.16 strip mining, 1.18 strip mining, and 1.18 caving. They are all very similar enough that we can assume that their variation you will have as a result of luck will basically make them no different at all, so it's hard to say which one's better. Unless we do another test, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to do one final test where we compare 1.18 to 1.16, doing strip mining for 2 hours, except this time we are using enchantments to see which one gets us more diamonds. And this video is getting strangely long for what it is, so I'm not going to do a time lapse or an epic mining montage or anything like that. I'm just going to show you the results from the time lapse right now without showing the actual time lapse to you, because I'm built like that. So 1.16, we got 2 stacks with 16 left over when we used enchants on our pickaxe, and in 1.18 we got 3 stacks with 33 left over, finally making it different enough so that we can say, yeah, this definitely isn't a variation as a result of luck. 1.18 is actually just better. So no, mining has not gotten worse in Minecraft. It has gotten better by a significant degree once you use enchants, and before you use enchants, it's about the same as it used to be, so basically mining's just better now than it was. And so yeah, you can just leave this video now, because that's the answer answered. But if you do want to know real quick, the reason I think that 1.18 is better than 1.16 is because 1.18 has deep slate, so when we use efficiency, we benefit more in 1.18 than in 1.16, because deep slate is harder than stone, so we end up breaking deep slate faster, which is more important because it breaks slower by default. If that makes any sense. It probably doesn't. Also, I'm not doing an outro because I'm out of breath, and that takes effort. And really, I'm sick of making this video because it's not going to get any views, so